All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to join tonight's European Study Talk. Through this series of webinars, we invite several European university and college to introduce their school and program to Taiwanese audience here. And tonight we are pleased to invite Julia from TU Dresden, Technical University of Dresden in Germany. And Julia is in charge of international student marketing, and she will introduce us to the programs and more about this campus life here. Let's welcome her. Julia.
Hello,
Hey.
Nice to meet you online and to see so many people gathering here. Welcome from my side. Good evening. My name is Julia and I'm working at TU Dresden's international office, and I'm very excited to give you some insight into studying at TU Dresden, the options that you have living in Dresden, and to answering all your questions, of course. I'm a bit sad that we can't be in Taiwan this year, and also last year we couldn't be there. So let's hope for next year. But let's get started. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A box and we will answer them later on. And I will also point out some contact emails during my presentation so that you can also get in touch later with us. I wanted to start with a bit of an overview of Dresden and where we are actually located, because not so many people actually know where Dresden is. And as you can see on the map here, Dresden is the capital of the Free State of Saxony, so one of the 16 federal states of Germany, and has about 500,000 inhabitants. I know it doesn't sound that much, but in German terms, that's quite a large city. So we are considered a big city in German terms, and it's actually quite a nice size. So if you ask students here, it's very comfortable. It's not too big, but also not too small. So you won't get bored easily. We are strategically well positioned in the heart of Europe, close to Poland and the Czech Republic. You can also see this on the map here. And it's also very easy to travel to both countries by train, by bus, or by car, if you are driving a car. And historically, Saxony and Dresden is also, or has also been, a region for inventions and innovations. So a lot of stuff that you might have heard about was actually invented here or close by. For example, the porcelain in Europe has been invented in Meissen, that's close by to Dresden. And there are other funny things that were invented for Europe, at least here in the region. For example, the tea bag or the coffee filters, the paper coffee filters that you probably all know, they come from here. The first German steam train engine was invented in Saxony. And then there are many, many other things. There are quite some nice videos online for that. So check this out. And of course, we want to live in this tradition and have also come up with some ideas for networks. And I will tell you in a second what they are. But let's talk a bit more about the city. Dresden is also well known for its cultural scene and its architecture. You can see that in the picture behind me and also on the slide on the left-hand side. That's the famous view of the old city of Dresden. Everything that was destroyed in World War II has been rebuilt now, including the Frauenkirche, which you can also see behind me. It's up here. So Dresden can also look back on a very long and rich history of events. You might have heard about that also during your history lessons. Overall, Dresden is a very green and family-friendly city. You can see some of the greenness in the second picture. That's the river flowing through Dresden, the Elbe River, and the banks are not built upon. So it's really nice to relax there, especially during summer. Now there's snow lying there, so you can maybe take your sledge and go for a walk, but there's no relaxing on the lawn at the moment. And in general, it offers very high quality of life at moderate living costs still for a city of that size in Germany. We are also very close to the Elbe Sandstone Mountains. That's a small mountain range that we share with the Czech Republic, actually. You see some examples of that in the third picture. And a lot of our students enjoy going there for the weekends, for example, for hiking tours, for exploring, for climbing even. So if you are interested in that, that would be the perfect choice for you. And we also offer sports courses where you can learn climbing, and where you can also find other people interested in that and go hiking together, for example. And yeah, there are lots of other things that you can explore in the region of Saxony and in Dresden. Let's get back to the university and the topic that why we are here today. We are quite an old technical university, so we were founded in 1828. And today we are one of 11 universities of excellence in Germany. So we got an extra label of excellence a couple of years ago and received extra funding for that. And with us, you can actually study a lot of things, not just technical subjects. You can see that if you look at the 5 schools that we have, so of course we do offer science programs, we do offer engineering and civil and environmental engineering, but you can also do medicine with us and humanities and social sciences. So despite our name, Technical University, you can also do languages at our university, for example. Or you can also opt for interdisciplinary programs. That's also quite an interesting feat. So for example, you can combine economics programs with engineering programs. That is something that you are interested in pursuing. Currently, we have about 30,500 students, of which 17% are international students. From Taiwan, we have about 60 students, I think. That's an okay number, but could be a bit higher, of course. Due to COVID, of course, it has also been a bit difficult to, travel and start studying with us. You can choose from 120-degree programs on all levels. So you can do bachelor's with us, you can do a master's program with us, you can do state exams, that's the real German degree. And you can also do PhDs with us in all subjects that we offer, but the system might be a bit different. So if you're interested in PhD studies, please get back to us via email or ask in the Q&A box, and I can also elaborate a bit on that, because it might be different from what you have heard about what doing a PhD is like. I've tried to sum this up because you have all kinds of interests, and there are different requirements also depending on the program you are interested in. So make sure you fulfill the university entrance qualifications for your chosen program. The language might be an important point. If you are interested in undergraduate studies with us, you will need German C1 actually. On the master's level, that's different. We do have English programs, which I will come to in a second. And of course, you need to be sure how to finance your stay in Germany before you actually apply and make plans. I've also listed the deadlines here. Don't worry, I will also give you a QR code later and the link where you can download this whole presentation. So you don't have to screenshot now, whatever. You can also just download the whole presentation and have a look later on if you missed some kind of date now or need to revisit the presentations. English masters, I already mentioned them. Of course, we know that not all people learn German or have the possibility to learn German. So we do offer English master's programs for which you only need to learn or to know English beforehand, and you need to hand in a proof of certificate of some kind that your English is on roughly B2 C1 level. That depends a bit on the program that you are interested in. So make sure beforehand, if you are checking our website or the one that I mentioned up here for the English Masters, that you also check what kind of requirements they have, what the TOEFL scores that you need for this program, or the IELTS, and so that you fulfill the criteria. And what you can see here is that we have master's programs in engineering, that's the blue box in the middle, in civil and environmental engineering, that's the light green box on the left-hand side, and in sciences on the right-hand side. So we do have a lot of programs on the sciences area, so biochemistry, biology and society. Basically all our science programs on the master's level are now offered in English. We also do have another physics master that's bilingual. It's not listed on here because you still need to know German on B2 level if you're interested in a purely physics master. But the other programs listed on here, you only need English. On the left-hand side, you have the civil and environmental engineering programs. I already mentioned that. And we also do have one economics program in English. That's the transportation economics program. So if you're interested in mobility, for example, green mobility, electric trains and stuff like that, but also economics, that might be an interesting choice for you. It's a fairly new program. We used to have this in a German course, but we switched this to English this year. So that might also be an interesting choice. And what you also realize from this overview is that we don't have a general environmental engineering program, but we have very specific environmental engineering programs. I'm mentioning this because when I visited fairs in Taiwan, I got this question quite early, quite often. So if we do have environmental engineering, and we do have that, but we have very specific programs. So hydroscience and engineering, for example, or also the computation and civil engineering studies. So it's not a general program, but more of a specific kind of choice that you have to make. Another thing that I wanted to mention in this in the same vein is that we do have a very special research network in Dresden. It's called the Dresden Concept, but the Dresden is not the city. It's an acronym for the Research Alliance, and it consists of 33 partners within the city. They are listed all here on the slide, and what you see is that there are a lot of Fraunhofer institutions, several Leibniz institutions, and Max Planck institutions. So this research network is, it's been in place for the past 10 years, and it's a platform to share knowledge and also to share resources. There are also museums included in this list, and libraries. So researchers in these institutions and in this network share their knowledge and work on projects together, and our students benefit from that because they can, find work within these partners, but they can also make use of their facilities, for example, without having a lot of bureaucratic hassle. So it's quite a unique project, and of course, if you come here as a student, you can also benefit from that and get to work maybe in a Fraunhofer Institute or do your master thesis in one of these institutions together with TU Dresden, of course. You might ask yourself how much you will have to pay for studying here. The good news is nothing. So there are no tuition fees at our university because we are a public university in Saxony. But what you have to pay is the semester contribution. That's something that all German universities, public universities, usually charge. And that's to support student services, cafeterias, and stuff like that. In Dresden, it's currently 290 euros for one semester, so for 6 months. And it includes a ticket for public transport. That means you can use all the buses, all the trams, all the regional trains and suburban trains in Dresden. You can also use regional trains in Saxony, so you can use your ticket and go to the Czech border, for example, if you want to go hiking, or go to other bigger cities in Saxony and just get to know your new home a bit. And you can also use the Mobi bikes, those are rental bikes. I'm sure you also have them in Taiwan. I've seen them actually, so yeah, you have them. And you can use these with your student ID card and travel around the city with the bike, so you don't have to bring your own bike at first and can just use them. Another thing that you have to take into account is living costs, of course. So in Dresden, that's roughly 750 euros per month. That's comparably less expensive than other big cities in Germany. And those are the costs that you need for rent, for example, for food, for books, or for your general expenses. And usually our students live in student dormitories. I've put some examples here in the pictures, and you have a vast choice of models there. So you can either live in a single apartment if you don't want to share. You can live in shared apartments and student dormitories, but you have your own room, but share the kitchen and the bathroom, for example. And some of our students also go for shared apartments in the private market, so they share apartments with other students. We also have a project where if you opt in, you can you get to live in student dorms where other students from your faculty, so from the same subject as you, live, and you can like share your study experience with them. That's quite nice, actually. You can do homework together or project work or whatever without having to go far, just over the floor maybe. And yeah, on average, those student rooms are between 150 and 500 euros per month. That depends on the size, on the location, on the amenities, but it includes, usually it includes Wi-Fi and, you know, heating and stuff like that. So that's quite, I would say, quite cheap. And of course, you can also pay more if you are, if you're interested in a luxury life. Of course, you can also pay much more and get your 3-room penthouse apartment or whatever. That's also possible. I've also included a picture of what a typical student dorm room looks like. So there's a bed included, furniture is included, like a cupboard and a table and stuff like that. And you just have to buy the stuff that you want to use. So cutlery and maybe blankets and stuff like that. Let me just sum up why you should maybe consider TU Dresden and studying engineering or sciences with us. Of course, I already mentioned you receive excellent quality at moderate costs here at TU Dresden. You get to live and study in a beautiful and very dynamic city. And another thing that I wanted to mention here is that we offer a free prep course for German taught programs. So if you are interested in one of our undergraduate programs, for example, or the German Masters, but your German is not yet up to C1, you can apply for our prep semester. That's 1 semester before your actual study program starts, and attend a free German course if your German is already up to B2, so you have a B2 certificate. Or if you have a B1 certificate and are currently doing a B2 course, that might be an option for you. There's no costs for that. So make sure to check out whether this is maybe a good idea for you. We do offer also a lot of buddy programs and counseling services. So once you're here, you can register for buddy programs, you know, to meet other students or to specifically meet German students to improve your German or teach them. Or there are also counseling services, of course, not just the international office, but many, many other programs that are supposed to make sure that you study successfully. But don't worry, there are also a lot of other interesting groups and clubs that you can join when you are here. I've included a picture here of this student of us working for the Elflo race team. That's a racing team, so a Formula car racing team. They build a race car each year and then race other students from Europe on official racing tracks, actually. Quite cool. If you check our Instagram account, I'll show you the link in a second. There's also currently a video online there where one of our students tested a Flores group and got to test the car. It's very exciting. I'm really jealous. I would have loved to do this myself. And there are many, many other groups like this where you can work as a student with other students and build something. For example, we also have a robotics club that does similar things, and they attend tournaments against other clubs in Europe from universities where robots battle each other, for example. But also the other schools that we have a lot of clubs. We also have a cinema club, an orchestra club. If you are playing an instrument, for example, they are always looking for good new players for the orchestra, or singing. There's a choir. So loads on loads of opportunities. And there's a really vibrant student life. Of course, nowadays with COVID, it's a bit limited and restricted, a lot of online activities going on because we still have some heavy restrictions here in Saxony, but fingers crossed that things will get better soon and we can have a lot of real activities again. The last thing I wanted to mention here is that we do have a career service like many other universities, but they do offer special services for international students. So they will help you with applying to German companies, for example. They do offer workshops for you to get into the German job market. And we also have a talent network where you can get in direct contact with interested companies here in Saxony and in Dresden especially. And they do matchmaking events where you can get to know your future employers maybe, and just meet new contacts. That's it for my official presentation. As mentioned, the QR code on the right-hand side is for the presentation if you want to download it. And there's also the link again. You can also visit us on our social media, especially Instagram. I would recommend that because and watch a lot of videos and cool photos from our campus. And if you have any question, please feel free to email us at studium.international@tu-dresden.de. You can also call, but of course, emailing is probably easier also with the time difference. So thank you for your attention, and I'm open for your question now.
Thank you, Julia, for your introduction. Let's welcome the questions here. Please feel free to leave your question either in English or in Chinese at your Q&A box on Zoom. And also, I think Julia also mentioned like this QR code could also bring you access to today's presentation slides. In case you miss any information or you didn't get time to record it, you can just download the whole slides here by scan this QR code here. And also, we have the contact information for international student here on the screen. Basically, they can just make a reservation through like the email address here.
Exactly. Yeah. We also do offer chat sessions. So if you are into text chatting with us, you can do this. We also offer Zoom calls. If there are any unsolved problems, please feel free.
What in general, what would be the like most questions or most challenge part for international students when they applying for TU Dresden or when they are enrolled with the school?
Well, I think it's if we receive a lot of questions regarding the application process itself, right? Which documents do I need? How does the upload with UniSS work? I mean, you are in a different country and everything is strange. So I think that's quite a challenge in the beginning. But we do try to, guide everyone in the right direction and help with filling out the application forms and getting in touch with the faculties. It depends also a bit on the level, right? As a PhD student, if you are interested in PhD studies, you have different problems than when you are maybe interested in a bachelor's. For the PhDs, it's more about getting in touch with the faculty, finding a supervisor, getting the contacts. And for the bachelor students, it's more like, do I fulfill all the criteria that is necessary? Is my background relevant enough? What about my high school certificate? That's also a question that we often receive, right? Is my high school certificate adequate to study in Germany? The good news is yes, under certain rules, if you have a high school diploma from Taiwan, we can accept you for direct access, as said, if all the criteria is met. But we can discuss this with the students directly if they have any questions regarding that. And the language is a big topic, right? Is my German good enough? Which certificate can I hand in? C1. Unfortunately, for the German programs, you need C1 German
at least
to get enrolled. But as said, if you have B2, you can apply for the prep course that we have, and then you are put into shape, and we'll train you up to C1 here for 1 semester. So that's but yeah, that's probably most of the questions that we get is about the application process, the German, and then some very specific questions for the programs itself. It differs from program to program, what the problems or questions might be. Get in touch with us if there's anything.
Yeah, that's a
try
good
to
point.
solve this. So
Regarding the application procedure, probably we can just briefly go through that. So first of all, they should prepare a document they need for each program. And then also, should they go on to UniAssist directly, or should they go to Dresden's website directly? And
well,
how long?
first of course, they would check our website. Which programs do we have? I thought about it. I can also show you again. Wait, I share my screen again, but I will show you on the website.
Right.
And so I already mentioned this link on the website called ZINS. It's the short link version for that. And it leads directly onto our study information system, where you find an overview or a database of all the programs that we have. So let's say someone is interested in engineering sciences as a postgraduate, so master's programs. And then you can add additional filters like you want to study in English. And then lists all the programs that are in engineering and in English. And it also suggests other programs that might be interesting. And then there is a site for each program. It looks the same for all the programs structure-wise. And it gives you all the information. How long does it take? Which language? What is the application procedure? So for international applicants, this is the deadlines. There's an aptitude assessment, and here's the application procedure. And then if you click on that, there's another site, but it explains very much in detail how this works, and it also has this guideline. So it's really safe to go this route because it tells you exactly where to apply. So I want to apply for, what did we say, a master's program. I do have a foreign bachelor's degree, and then it says, okay, you have to go to UniAssist. And if students click on that, they do get another sheet with information about UniAssist, how to submit documents, what to do, blah, blah, blah. And once they click on that, they go to UniAssist. So it's very safe in a way that, you get guided through to UniAssist, and then you can start your application on UniAssist, register, upload all your documents, which you have read before that you have to upload. So it's a very guided process, actually.
So we have one attendee is interested in the ecosystem services master. So first of all, this one, I think
there's a lot of questions. Yeah.
Requires that engineering background. Because
no, not necessarily. I mean, I can try to answer this step by step, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
All the different. So does it require a master in engineering bachelor? No, it depends a bit. They are actually quite flexible in terms of what they accept. And I wanted to go back to their page, but maybe I just show you again on this. So ecosystem services, and it lists also what they want, right? A bachelor's degree in life or environmental sciences, geography, forestry, agricultural sciences, even social sciences, if you have some kind of related subjects to environmental sciences. So they are very, very flexible and open in this program. If you do have an engineering bachelor, still you can inquire with them if you have an environmental focus in your bachelor's degree. So yes and no, please inquire with your specific bachelor. But if you have another bachelor, that might also be an option.
Right.
If you have a natural sciences bachelor, that is also great, might fit perfectly if it's on the track that they are interested in. Again, I cannot make this decision. I'm not the coordinator, but I know that they're very open. So the thing to do would be to contact the student coordinator, which is listed down below here. And you can either contact the admissions office, Mrs. Scheunig, send an email, or you can also contact the academic advisor and inquire whether your specific bachelor is relevant to the program. What you can also see here is it's open admission. So the average GPA, there is no average GPA. Of course, they are looking for highly qualified candidates, but that always depends on the intake. It's open admission, so they don't only take straight A students. They look at your background and see whether you're background fits with the program.
Right.
There are free German courses for international students. All students at TU Dresden, no matter whether they are international or whether they are German students, get a certain number of credits to spend for language courses at the university. And we do offer 15 different languages, and one of them is German. So international students, of course, we encourage them to improve their German or to learn some German at all if you are doing an English master's program. But you can also learn Swedish or I don't know, Japanese or something.
Yeah.
So there's a broad spectrum of languages offered. The semester contribution is it's a fee, but it's not for your study. So it's not tuition fee. It's a fee for student services, 290 euros per semester. And you can opt out of a bigger portion of that if you don't want the semester ticket. So the semester ticket is the ticket for public transport that I explained.
Right.
You can opt out of that, but most students don't do that because it's very, very convenient to just, have something to travel on for free then for 6 months. But you have to pay the semester contribution. So the student services fee still has to be paid, which is very low when compared to other universities' fees if you look at the international scale. And yes, students can part-time in a lab or intern when studying. There is a certain number of hours that you are allowed to work per year, per half year as an international student living in Germany. If you want to make money with that, so if you want to earn money. But it's encouraged, of course, that you work as a part-time student assistant, for example, in a lab, or also in one of the many research institutions that I mentioned before. They are also hiring student assistants for their labs, for example. So there's plenty of opportunity to work as a student assistant as well. But what I do have to mention is the Ecosystem Services Master is not taught on the Dresden campus. It's taught in Zittau. That's a smaller city close to the Polish border where we do offer master's programs, very international master's programs actually. And they do have a cooperation for their programs with the Senckenberg Foundation and with other universities as well. So that's why it's located over there. Just what I wanted to mention. And should I also answer the other question?
Yeah. So the next one would be the prep program. So is there a minimum language level to apply for prep program? Since, like, for example, if they only have B1 level of German, can they apply also for the prep program in order to enroll in the German, normal German program?
So if you only have B1 at the moment, so you passed the B1 test and have a certificate for that, you can, wait, I'll stop the screen sharing, it's a bit annoying. You can apply, but you also have to provide some kind of proof that you are currently doing a B2 course. So you are, because until you start with us, it's still half a year.
Right.
So that's enough time to, continue your German classes and at home. Because the starting level of the prep program is B2. So if you only have B1 and you are not doing anything about it at the moment, that's probably not enough. But if you have B1 certificate and the proof of B2 attendance, we will also send you an invitation for the prep program.
When they have a task and then it's their B1 level, but they can prove they have a course going on with their German B2 courses, then they are also eligible for the prep program.
Exactly, both ways. If you already have B2 level, you can also apply, of course. If you have.
But would it take longer for them to complete the prep program?
Because if they, if they now have B1 level and they are currently doing a B2 course, at the end of the semester, they probably will have B2 level, because it's still some months until the start of studies with us. That's the way we thought about this. So, but anyway, if there are any questions regarding the levels and whatever, you can also just come to our Zoom talks or to our chats, and we can discuss this directly and have a look at the actual certificates, for example, or also at the bachelor's degrees, right? If anyone is wondering whether the bachelor degree is relevant for a certain master's program, or what if it fulfills the criteria for the aptitude assessment, they can also or you can also come and chat with us in the direct chat sessions that we offer.
Next question goes to, okay, we have questions about PhD position, where they can find any like open PhD position on website.
Yeah,
or...
that can there's like there are several pages for PhD students, but I can just share the general the job vacancies page. Wait, can I share this here in the screen and the chat? Yeah, I have put it in the chat, and you can switch this page to English. Don't worry. And this is the vacancies page, and you can find all the open PhD positions that are like job offers on this page. It's sorted into the schools that we have, so you can choose your relevant subjects there. But as far as PhD studies goes, there are also other methods to get a PhD position here, and I'll share the link as well where we explain how to do your PhD with us. You can also have a look at and maybe read up on. There are also some tips included, how to contact professors and where to find more information. And again, it's also very helpful if you check the research organizations that we do have in the city, also within the Dresden Concept Network, as they also offer PhD positions together with us, of course. So we are the university conferring the degree, but you are actually working at the research institution and not with us. So that's also listed under the links here, so don't have to look somewhere else.
Yeah, Julia, you also mentioned at the beginning, like if an international student is trying to apply for a PhD program, it's gonna be different from what we are doing here in Taiwan. Like, do they need a degree, a master degree in Germany, in order to move on to their PhD program in Germany?
You can also come with a master's degree from Taiwan or from wherever. So of course this will be checked upon by us, whether it's an equivalent degree, but you don't need a German master's degree in order to do a PhD here. The difference that I meant was that there are no structured programs, or rather only a few of them, where you just enroll for a PhD program and then you go to classes, write your thesis, and you are done. Most of our PhD students actually do independent research work, so they work under a supervisor. And the difficulty for international students often is finding a supervisor from abroad.
Right.
But that's also tackled in the link that I posted. As I said, there are tips there, what to do, how to contact, and of course apply for open PhD positions. That's actually a great way to get into this.
If not, thank you, Julia, again for coming up today at your site and sharing Taiwanese students here. What would be the advantage with TU Dresden? What would be the procedure to do or to take if they are applying for the programs at TU Dresden? Also, Julia shared the information where to contact to ask questions, and also how to make good use of their webpage to find the information you need and go through the next step for application. And we also share the link for PhD student and PhD program, including the tips and the open position you need to find. So thank you, Julia, giving us a lot of information here. Anything to say to our audience again?
No, just thank you for attending. Hope to see you soon here, maybe next year, without any COVID problems. And have a great evening. Enjoy the next presentation, and see you in Dresden.
Yeah, just as your background shows. Thank you, Julia. See you next time.